Tuesday edition Pro Football Talk Live. Free agency coming in 15 days. The tag window closes in 12 days. And for now, teams can apply a franchise tag and a transition tag under the rules of the current CBA. If the new CBA is ratified,
look at some of those names.
You get one tag.
Sorry.
You get one tag and only one tag. That's fine. Chris is looking at the list of the PFT's free agent top 100 that is showing on the screen for those of you listening on radio. So, for some of the big names, should they get tagged? Will they get tagged? There are plenty of reports out there, and most of the reports are consistent. Most of them are obvious. I just saw a little blurb that Dak Prescott's likely to be tagged. You think? You think? He's likely to, you think? Hand out the Pulitzers, folks. Dak Prescott is likely to be tagged. So let's start with him. I mean, the only question there is what level of the tag, and there was a report from NFL media over the weekend. It would be the exclusive tag. We talked about this yesterday.
Right.
That potentially sets the stage for a year-to-year thing because it pays Dak Prescott more money, 2020 and 2021. But the real question for the Cowboys, is there a way they can work out a deal with Dak before that deadline so then they can tag Amari Cooper? Chris, that's really the question.
That is the question. That's what they need to get done. I mean, yes, of course I'm all for tagging Dak Prescott. Like you said, that's the captain obvious answer of the year right there. Again, this is Dak Prescott. Yeah, maybe not one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football, but he's one of the 10 best right now, and that's saying something, and he's capable of carrying that team in moments where they need him to. So, yes, you tag him, hopefully, like you said, if that they can get that done and then move on to Amari Cooper because they don't want to let him walk out the door for free, of course, what they traded for him to get him from the Raiders.
Dynamic we discussed yesterday as well. The influx of great young rookie receivers could make the Cowboys think, hey, we could let Amari Cooper go to the market. Maybe the market's not going to be there for Amari Cooper because teams are thinking we can get guys a lot cheaper and younger in the draft.
Mike, let me ask you this. When does a team know or not know that the CBA is going to happen or not happen and that they could use the franchise tag and the transition tag in this rare year? Like
some people were reporting that the vote on the new CBA was going to happen yesterday. I was told all along, no, because they don't have the CBA ready yet.
Right.
You've got the lawyers scrambling to draft this multiple 100-page document that then will have to be – and it's funny, they sent out an email to all players on Friday saying they'll have an opportunity to review the full CBA before they vote on it. Yeah, it's like reading the phone book. Are you going to read the phone book before you vote?
Right.
No. Just tell me the highlights and I'll make a decision. But they want to get that done at some point in the next 12 days because in 12 days the window closes on the franchise tag / transition tag decision. So I think it's going to move quickly, and once it happens, we'll know one way or the other. If the vote is yes, then you get one tag. If the vote is no, which is bad news for the league, it's good news for a team like the Cowboys. They could use the franchise tag on Dak Prescott, transition tag on Amari Cooper. Another team that's got that same conundrum, Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill, quarterback, Derrick Henry, running back, now represented both by the same agency, which is going to refuse, I believe, to do a long-term deal for either guy. They're going to force the Titans to use one or both tags. Which of those two guys would you be more likely to franchise tag, the quarterback or the running back?
Yeah, this is an interesting conversation. And, I didn't realize Tannehill had left his agent. I forgot about that last week. And, now they're both with CAA, right? Am I right about that? Which,
yes.
That's, again... Yeah, when agents, CAA, a place like that, they got a lot. They got their hands on a lot of inventory, and that means they can corner the market and and frame conversations and contracts. That's what goes on in the NFL. That's what's a little dangerous here. If you're going to make me pick between one of the two, I'm going to franchise Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry's arguably the best at his position in the sport right now. I think a running back contract is easier to figure out than the quarterback contract too, and then this will be the other reason I would go Derrick Henry, because I feel like a guy like Ryan Tannehill, he's going to be reluctant. He's carved out a niche for himself in Tennessee, right? He worked so hard this year to become the guy there, the franchise quarterback, become a leader in the locker room. It's not easy just to go somewhere else and do that again and have everything fall in place to where you have the success you just had there. So I think you can err on, let's franchise Derrick Henry, and let's err on the fact that we think Ryan Tannehill will want to be back here because he's established something with us, and we kind of have the leg up on everybody else in free agency as far as Tannehill is concerned.
What would you pay Tannehill on a long-term deal? How much per year?
Well, I would look at something, again, short-term contract at first. I'm not going to go out and just give him like a 6-year deal or anything like that. I would be
but they're all short-term.
Well, yes, you're right.
Deals.
But I would be.
It's
it would
guaranteed
be,
for 2 to 3 years.
Right. It would be a 2-year deal, exactly, something like that. Maybe to where you can get out after the first year.
How much?
But
How much?
I'm going to say somewhere between. For right now, the market, 27 and 30 million. Somewhere in that range. I think so. Yes. Somewhere around there, 25 to 30, somewhere right around there. Maybe you finagle it with the signing bonus and guaranteed money to where that first year hits for more than, $30 million or whatever, but then the second year significantly lower and it averages out to a manageable number. I don't know. What say you, Florio?
Well, look, I asked you the question because the franchise tag non-exclusive is going to be in the range of $27 million. So you're going to tag him. That's what you're looking at.
Right.
If you were going to say 22 to 25, then you definitely don't tag the guy. I don't know what the market's going to be for him because I don't know what other teams think. Look, there is a concern based upon past history that Ryan Tannehill is going to get injured or he's going to revert to the performance we've seen in the past. He's always been kind of a guy that will give you those flashes, those moments, but never deliver over the long term. He delivered last year, got the team to the brink of the Super Bowl. I think there'd be a much different vibe about Ryan Tannehill if they'd gotten to the Super Bowl and they had that 10-point lead in the second quarter over the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. But I don't know who else is out there. I mean, look, I'm not hearing a whole lot of buzz of people lining up to sign Jameis Winston.
Nope.
And I'm not hearing a lot of buzz of people lining up to sign Ryan Tannehill, right? It's all Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady with a dash of Teddy Bridgewater. It's not like there's going to be a land rush for Ryan Tannehill if he's available. It could be like the Bucs, though, where teams are thinking they're not letting this guy get away, so they're really not putting him on the middle of the radar screen for a guy they could go get. But it's not like we came out of Indy with, there are 4 other teams that are ready to make Ryan Tannehill a major offer on the first day of free agency.
No, they're not. But I would think he'd be one that teams were laying in the weeds for a little bit. Yeah, I do. Yes, we hear the marquee names, Brady and Rivers and things like that. But if somehow he became a free agent and the Colts, who are in a situation where, hey, they're looking for a guy to be the quarterback, maybe for the future or at least for the next year or two, they might be a team that gets involved in this conversation. But, back to the original point, you would franchise Derrick Henry here, right? Or is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because, look, here's the thing. And this is the unfortunate aspect of running backs cashing in. Todd Gurley cashes in. Great for Todd Gurley. Bad for the Rams and bad for anybody else who wants to cash in. Ezekiel Elliott cashes in. Great for Zeke. Bad for the Cowboys based on how he performed last year. And, you look at Derrick Henry and you say, well, you're going to break the bank and give the guy 15, 16, 17 million a year. Great for him. But is he still going to be, do you make that leap of faith that he's going to continue this trajectory? And the difference between him and the others, you could argue, their best years came early in their career. Derrick Henry's been on a slow progression where he gets better and better and better. And here's the problem.
They didn't wear him out the first 2 years. If
you tag him this year, Chris, and he has 2,000 yards, then what do you do next year?
Yeah, right.
You're almost better off just biting the bullet and doing the long-term deal with Derrick Henry if you truly believe he's going to continue to play at that level. The one thing about Derrick Henry, and I told him to his face, he's a modern-day Jim Brown.
Yeah.
But it takes him 3 or 4 steps to get up to Jim Brown level.
Right.
Those first few steps, he's not Barry Sanders.
Yes.
He's not that burst through the line. And if you knock him down before he bursts through the line, that's how you shut him down.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Those bigger running backs, he's so long. You're right. It's more of a build-up speed than we see out of some of the marquee running backs. But, didn't get a lot of wear and tear on his body the first 2 years of his career. And, does not look like he's lost a step. You mentioned Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott concerns me. That concerns me. If I'm Dallas right now, I'm really I'm a little worried about the Ezekiel Elliott, contract and situation. And listen, I know I was a guy that banged on the table for him to get his money. I do not like the way he looked last year. I would seriously be sitting there thinking about, I'm not so sure if we can't get out of this contract right now, I might not get out. I'm dead serious about that. Derrick Henry, I don't feel that way. First off, I think he's different off the field. I think he takes care of himself a little bit better. I don't think he parties the way Ezekiel Elliott does. And yes, I just don't see any signs of slowing down. The one thing about Derrick Henry that impresses me, Mike, and, think about it, you don't see a lot of huge car crash type hits. It's not that way. He's not like...
He delivers them.
He delivers them. He does, and he has a nice way of kind of, again, like we've talked about like with Christian McCaffrey, of he doesn't let people square him up a whole lot and just have those boom and just stop dead in your track type collisions. And I think that goes a long way to him lasting a number of more years because of his size and the way he runs.
From Derrick Henry to Hunter Henry, there's a report the Chargers will be applying the tag to their tight end if they can't get a long-term deal done. This guy's had some injuries, right? When he plays well. What do you think about the idea of giving him that kind of a one-year deal to keep him off the open market?
Yeah, to me, that's dicey. This is the one I look at and go, wow. I mean, really, we're going to franchise, Hunter Henry here, a guy that's, never had more than 700 yards receiving in his career, and we're going to, give him a huge chunk of money. Now, it's a very important position for this team, and Anthony Lynn, they want to use the tight end. They want to run the football, do that. But I guess I would... that would be one where, I don't think I would tag him. I don't. I don't think I would tag him. I would try to get a long-term deal out, throw some good money at him here, for a year or two. But the injury concern, lack of production, all would bother me right now.
Yeah, I agree with you there, and we'll see how that one plays out. Shaq Barrett, Buccaneers pass rusher.
Right?
Yeah, 19.5 sacks, I believe, last year. Led the league, the PFT Defensive Player of the Year for what that's worth, and not much other than satisfaction. I think you got to keep him around. Bruce Arians touting to us last week the team's defense. The defense doesn't get better if the best piece of it last year walks away.
Yeah, exactly right. He's something to build on. This guy's special. He really is. And people might go, oh, is it a one-year thing? Hey, listen, he was really good in Denver. He just got stuck behind some names, and because he was a lower draft pick, sometimes that's the politics of football. But, he showed his butt last year. He was awesome. And, yes, you franchise tag him. You don't even think about it, and you hopefully you can go a long-term deal.
He showed his butt.
Yeah.
That's not showing your butt is not a good thing.
Well,
I don't know what they say in Texas
either.
or New Jersey. He showed his butt.
Well, they usually say, show his ass, okay? Sorry, I'm saying that word.
They do?
And in the football,
Who's they?
I don't know. In the
Who are
football
they?
world, that means it's a good thing. It's they, as in dumb football people. That's right. And I'm including myself in that.
One more. Eric Armstead, the 49ers pass rusher, had a career high in sacks last year, thanks to, I think, Nick Bosa and Dee Ford in large part. Do you just assume if you're the 49ers that we'll find somebody else to provide that presence and take advantage of the attention paid to the outside pass rush, and we don't need to make the investment in Armstead, either long-term or short-term?
Whoa, it's dicey. First off, as we both know, that is a huge reason of why they got to the Super Bowl. It was because it's the best D-line in football. I would probably tag Eric Armstead. Now, the 49ers, the interesting thing there is what plays into this decision as well is what are they going to do with DeForest Buckner? Where is that going to go? Is he going to ask for a long-term deal? Because he had a phenomenal year too. So they're going to have to figure out how they want to balance that. They're not going to be able to pay all these guys big money. They're going to lose somebody, whether it's Armstead, DeForest Buckner, whatever it may be. And they might just, I would expect them to tag Eric Armstead. Right now, they're in the Super Bowl window. I would do it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.